Have you heard about Theology of the Body? It's a huge document. I mean, it's really, really long, but it's also really important and reveals a lot of deep truths about our bodies and marriage and sex and celibacy and a whole lot of stuff. And if you haven't heard about it, I am very happy to introduce you to it. And if you have heard about it, please share this video with other people who have not, because I'm seeing it go around again, and I'm seeing it become important again to people in our age, you and me, on how we live out our faith and our life in general and what we look for in love and relationships. And I think it's really important. And so we're going to do a little series, a mini series. By series, I mean 2 videos. And today is going to be video number 1, and it's going to be on Theology of the Body, why we should care at all about this document. Because when you say the word or the term papal encyclical, people turn away. Their eyes glaze over because they're like, no, those are long and hard to decipher and kind of boring. And can you give me a SparkNote version? And I'm here to say, yes, it's long. I don't think it's boring, but I can see how it could be. And yes, absolutely, I can give you a SparkNote version. So we're going to dive in today on why you should care. And we're going to start there. And you can let me know in the comments how you feel about it, if you've heard about it before, what it's done for you. It's done a lot of things for me personally on how I view the world and relationships and love and marriage and the human body and who I am as a daughter of God. And it's done a lot for other people as well in that same area. So let's jump on in. Hi, my name is Sarah, and I am here with CatholicMatch. I make video content on all things dating and relationships, and I'm so happy that you're here and that you're coming along. You can check out my videos here on YouTube, or I'm also over on Instagram at CatholicMatch, and I talk about a lot of different topics. So we're gonna start from there. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And like I said, feel free to add to the comment section below of what you think about what I'm about to say and about the document. And if you've heard of it before, if you've never heard of it, I'm interested to hear your guys' opinions. So let's go. So Theology of the Body is a document that you can read. It is totally accessible to you thanks to the internet. And it was written by Pope John Paul II. And it is a collection of 130 general audiences that he had in the late 70s and early 80s. And it was on the topic of human sexuality and marriage, specifically. And the document itself is all of the general audiences combined. There is another document that is a PDF that is shorter and a little bit easier to read through. Not quite as long. Still not like a 5-minute read, but not quite as long. And the video, part 2 of this series, will be even shorter. So I don't think you'll lose a lot by watching the video if that's how you choose to consume the content, but I think you'll gain a lot if you go online and you read one of the documents available that are on everything that he said. So Theology of the Body refers to who God is and who we are in light of who God is. And Pope John Paul II, he reflects on the human body in general, and then also within the context of marriage and with the context of celibacy. He talks about it all. And it's really interesting because if maybe you find yourself thinking that people who are celibate have it harder than people who are married, that no one should be asked to be celibate, that I think after reading this document, you would find yourself with some misconceptions that are hopefully proven wrong. That it is not, one vocation is not necessarily harder over the other. It's not how you look at it. It's from a completely different viewpoint that we will go over in the next video. But anyway, he released this document, like I said, in the late 70s and early 80s, and it was to emphasize a previous document that was released called Humanae Vitae, and that was released in the 60s, and that was released by Pope St. Paul. And so the document Humanae Vitae, that was released in the middle of the sexual revolution, which was a huge period of time in our country and in the world. It's where we saw the birth control pill pop up and other different types of contraceptives become really, really popular and really available and used by people. So this changed the pill and contraceptives and the popularity and the use and the access. It changed how people saw sex and marriage, right? It was now okay to have sex and not need to procreate. It was totally okay that you, with the birth control pill and different contraceptives, you can totally avoid, if you want to, having a child and still have sex. And that changed how people saw sex, and it changed how people saw children, and it changed how people saw marriage. Because if you don't need to have children necessarily while having sex, then you also don't need to be married in order to have sex. And so things shifted in our society, and that document came out just as all of those shifts were happening. And Pope St. Paul made 4 predictions in the document Humanae Vitae that are surrounding things that he said would happen in our society because of the sexual revolution. And I'm going to read those to you now because they're important. Okay, here we go. All right, prediction number 1, a general degradation of sexual morality and an increase of marital infidelity. Prediction number 2, a loss of respect for wives on behalf of husbands and on behalf of society, as in a loss of respect for women on behalf of men. Prediction number 3, that government would impose population control. And prediction number 4, that men and women would believe they have absolute control, absolute dominion over the procreativeness of their bodies. So maybe you hear those and you think, wow, those all sound really familiar because a lot of them have come true. And he made those guesses, those intuitions in the 60s, and he is right. And so that's my first biggest reason on why you should care about this document, because Theology of the Body was made to emphasize Humanae Vitae, which included predictions that would happen in society that have come true. So it's relevant and it's important and it affects you and me. John Paul II, he used Theology of the Body to emphasize and to show how Humanae Vitae isn't just abstract, isn't just like a set of things that a past pope said, but it's actually deeply biblical, and it can explain how we are the way we are and why we are the way we are in the eyes of who God is in the first place. And like I said, he talks about love, he talks about sex, and he talks about all the different types of vocations that we can enter into as people in this world. And he brings up some really creative points and some really bold points and some points that maybe make you uncomfortable. And but it's all really good because it's all rooted in scripture and it's all rooted in foundational truth. There's not a whole lot of vagueness, and I'm really excited to jump into it in our next video. It changed how I see marriage, how I see love, how I see relationships, and it's changed how other people have seen a bunch of different aspects of their life. I mean, we have a whole series of books called Theology of Home that isn't, solely touched by Theology of the Body, but it's definitely in there as well. We have a book that was just released into society called Theology of the Style, which was hugely influenced by Theology of the Body. And so it's taking hold of people in our age bracket, you and me, and it's changing how they see the world. And I don't want you to be left out on that. So make sure you tune in for the next video. I'm going to break down Theology of the Body as best I can in video form and offer you guys places to go read the full PDF as well. And it's going to be good. I think it's something that more people should be aware of, that more people are becoming aware of. And I am so happy to have a hand in that. With that being said, I will see you in the next video. Make sure you keep an eye out for it. You can subscribe to our channel so you're notified when that video comes out, and make sure to follow us along here and over on Instagram, because we'll be announcing the video whenever it's published over there as well. And I will see you in